Hi, I'm Tommy Vanner, and this is my Grad presentation. I was born and raised in Kenmore, New York, which is a suburb just outside of Buffalo, a part of a family of six. I have three older sisters: Kaylee, who is a teacher in Williamsville, Megan, who lives in New York City, and Sarah, who is a senior at Miami University in Ohio. I've always had a close relationship with my sisters, and the fact that they are all older than me by a few years has always been very helpful to me because I can ask them for any sort of advice on pretty much anything. That has always been such a big help. Growing up when I was younger, I was always a very energetic and happy kid. But when interacting with people, I was always super shy. I attended Narden Academy for elementary and middle school. I was used to being with pretty much the same 50 kids and pretty much the same friend group throughout all 8 years of my time at Narden. Because my time at Narden was pretty stagnant, I became comfortable with my group of friends and did not feel I ever needed to branch out and try and meet new people. Because of the same old feel I felt at Narden with being with the same people throughout my years there, I went into high school with more reserved than other kids might have been and had to make a change if I wanted to feel comfortable at Canisius. Going to Canisius was a big change for me because, as I had said before, the only school I had ever gone through was Narden, so that was all I ever knew. Going from a school where each class had 50 or less kids in each grade to a high school with 100 plus kids in each grade was such a big difference and totally different than what I was used to. Also, my freshman year at Canisius was the first year the house system was installed, and I have to admit, it was intimidating at first, having sophomores, juniors, and seniors, all who I didn't know, in my homeroom as a freshman. However, as the year went on, I got to know the kids in my advisement much better and grew to really enjoy having students from all grades be a part of one house. Also, it was nice to get perspectives from not just kids in my own grade, but from kids in the older grades who had gone through what I was going through in my freshman year, and I could get some help and advice from them. During my freshman year, I was still a pretty shy and reserved kid. I was shy because I lacked confidence in myself, and I was worried what others were thinking about me. As my year at Canisius went on, I realized I did not need to worry about what others thought and just needed to be myself. And as I started to be myself and get more comfortable as a person, I started to make a bunch of new friends that I never had before and really started to enjoy Canisius and see why it has such a good reputation and people enjoy it so much. Freshman year, I realized a part of gaining confidence is stepping out of your comfort zone and not just staying back and staying put. Unfortunately, right as I was gaining confidence and made a lot of new friends my freshman year, we had to go remote and be online because of the COVID-19 pandemic. Doing remote learning was very tough, and it was hard to be away from my friends and other classmates for the last few months of my freshman year. However, being remote taught me to not take advantage of those around me and life as a whole, because anything unprecedented like COVID could happen out of nowhere in our lives. I really missed school in person and felt like I missed out on the last few months of my freshman year. So, when we came back to in-person learning my sophomore year in the fall of 2020, I came into school with a way more open mindset than I had before and did my best to be as talkative and as outgoing as possible because I was so ready to be back to regular school. This point in my high school career was one of the biggest points of my growth, and my confidence has only been going up since this moment. Another point in my years at Canisius where I felt a big amount of personal growth was when I went on the Kairos retreat during my junior year. It was great to get away from the stress of schoolwork and fast-moving life that we all live and go on this retreat. Also, it was very nice to be able to get off my phone for a few days and just interact with people in person with no technology distracting us. It was awesome to be able to talk to my small group and tell them many personal things that I was feeling and that have happened in my life that I haven't been able to talk to a lot of people about. I also felt that the retreat brought me closer to God and made me more religious because the whole experience was very spiritual and very moving for me. A way I have developed the trait of becoming a loving person during my time at Canisius is through doing community service work. I had never volunteered much beforehand, and after volunteering all 4 years here, I have really enjoyed helping those in need, especially at the two places I primarily volunteered at, which were St. Luke's Mission of Mercy, which provides meals for those in need in the east side of Buffalo, and Western New York Heroes, which is an organization that helps U.S. veterans in need. Doing community service has made me realize we are not so different after all, and that you should always try your best to help those in need, as they are great people who appreciate it so much to get some help and attention, more than anything. Also, seeing people who are in need has taught me to really appreciate my life, such as my family, and especially my parents, who have provided me with great education, support, love, and food on the table. Also, it has taught me to not take anything for granted and develop relationships with people who I have helped assist during my time doing community service at Canisius High School. Helping out people who need it has been very eye-opening and moving for me as well. Another great experience I had during my time at Canisius was the wilderness retreat during September of my senior year. We went to the Adirondacks for the retreat, and it was very cool to go hiking up there, as I had never really hiked beforehand. And on this trip, I was able to hike up a high peak mountain for the first time in my life. Also, it gave me a much deeper appreciation of nature and has inspired me to want to do many more outdoor activities if I'm given the opportunity to do so again. The trip was just such a great experience and one I will never forget. After graduating in this upcoming May, I will attend college, but I still have not decided where I want to go yet. One way I believe I can still better myself in the future is by becoming a lot more accountable for my actions. I still have a tendency to blame others for things that are clearly my fault, and I believe that that is one of the main things I still have to work on going into college and my future as a whole. Another thing that I need to work on prior to going to college is my time management skills. I have a bad habit of procrastinating my work and many other things in life, such as making commitments. I have changed so much since I first got here at Canisius, and it has been all for the better. I really appreciate all of my time going to school here, the great people I've met, and the relationships I've made that will last a lifetime. Thank you again for listening to my grad presentation. I hope you enjoyed it.